Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Saturday, May 15, 2021. Al Jazeera report. Give us 10 minutes, how Israel bombed a Gaza media tower. Yumna al-Sayed had less than an hour to get to safety. But with just one elevator working in Al-Jalaa Tower, an 11-story building in Gaza City housing some 60 residential apartments and a number of offices, including those of Al Jazeera Media Network and the Associated Press, al-Sayed made a dash for the stairs. We left the elevator for the elderly and for the children to evacuate, the Palestinian freelance journalist said.
Al Jazeera report. It's genocide. Protesters slam Israel, support Palestinians. Protesters have marched across the world in support of Palestinians amid the worst Israeli-Palestinian violence since the 2014 Gaza war. At least 140 Palestinians, including 39 children, have been killed after Israel launched air attacks on Gaza earlier this week. On Saturday, Israel targeted a refugee camp in Gaza where at least 10 Palestinians were killed. Protests took place in major cities around the world, including Doha, London, Paris and Madrid.
Al Jazeera report. Ethiopia delays polls again amid security, logistical challenges. Ethiopia has delayed its national election again after some opposition parties said they would not take part and as a conflict in the country's Tigray region means no vote is being held there, further complicating Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's efforts to centralize power. Burtukan Mideksa, chairperson of the National Electoral Board of Ethiopia, NEBI, indicated that delays in opening polling stations and voter registration have pushed the voting day, state news agency Fana reported on Saturday.
BBC report. Leading conservatives Raisi and Larijani enter Iran presidential race. The two conservatives, who have close ties with Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, are seen as the leading contenders to succeed Hassan Rouhani. Mr. Rouhani, a moderate, is not allowed to run for a third consecutive term. More than 300 other hopefuls have also applied to be candidates. They must all now be vetted by the Guardian Council. The 12 theologians and jurists on the council approved only 6 of the more than 1,600 candidates for the last election in 2017, which Mr. Rouhani won in the first round with 57% of the vote.
Deutsche Welle report. Israel-Gaza crisis. Pro-Palestinian rallies gather in German cities. Pro-Palestinian demonstrations are taking place in Germany's capital Berlin, Cologne, Hamburg and other cities on Saturday. A court in Frankfurt overturned the city's attempt to block one protest on the grounds that bans can only be declared once. Milder means, such as rules imposed on the demonstrators, have been exhausted. City authorities had argued that the planned protest could endanger public safety and could become the starting point for anti-Semitic statements, threats and acts.
Fox report. Back-to-back tornadoes kill 12 in China, over 300 injured. Back-to-back tornadoes killed 12 people in central and eastern China and left more than 300 others injured, authorities said Saturday. 8 people died in the inland city of Wuhan on Friday night and 4 others in the town of Shengzhou, about 400 kilometers, 250 miles, east in Jiangsu province, local governments said. The first tornado struck Shengzhou about 7 p.m., damaging homes and factories and knocking out power, the official Xinhua news agency reported.
CNN report. Gnawed bones of 9 Neanderthals found in Italian cave in extraordinary discovery. The discovery of the ancient remains of 9 Neanderthals, a pack of hyenas and several elephants in the Guattari cave near the Italian resort town of San Felice Circio has astounded archaeologists, who have long suspected that a considerable population lived in the area. It is an extraordinary discovery, Dario Franceschini, Italy's cultural minister, said in a statement. The whole world will be talking about it.
Fox report. Workshops for warriors. Taking back American manufacturing, one veteran at a time. A San Diego school aims to fix 2 of America's biggest problems with programs that retrain former military service members into the manufacturing workforce the country needs. Navy veteran Hernan Luis Y. Prado was home on leave when he bumped into a fellow serviceman. The other man had lost the use of his legs, and Hernan was devastated to see someone he had served with struggle to return to civilian life.
Fox report. How NYC's rise in shootings could affect commutes to school, work. brazen gunslingers are shooting the daylights out of the Big Apple. After a shocking execution in Park Slope and last Saturday afternoon's shooting spree in Times Square, the Post requested crime data to see if the impression that criminals have become bolder in broad daylight is true. Sadly, it appears so. As of April 25, the NYPD recorded 374 shootings this year, and 119, or 32%, occurred between 7 a.
CNN report. 5 people shot, 2 fatally, at Chicago gathering. 5 people were shot, 2 fatally, during a gathering early Saturday on the south side of Chicago, police said. Detectives were searching for a yet-to-be-identified person who fled the scene, described by the fire department as a yard party in the Gresham section. A 26-year-old man was shot in the head and pronounced dead at University of Chicago Medical Center, according to police. Police later said the other fatality was a 21-year-old man with a gunshot wound to the head who had been transported to University of Chicago Medical Center.
Deutsche Welle report. Hungary's Viktor Orban faces challenge from Budapest mayor. Budapest's Liberal Mayor György Karácsony on Saturday declared his plan to contest joint opposition primaries in September and October, hoping to become top challenger to Viktor Orban in general elections due next April. Since 2010, the hardline National Orban and his Fidesz party has won 3 successive landslides under an election system favoring large parties and frustrating a previously fragmented opposition.
CNN report. A student harnessed the power of beeps to make healing from surgery safer and more equitable. Dacia Taylor didn't expect to become a nationally recognized scientist at 17 years old. The Iowa student has dedicated her life to equity work, from serving as one of her school district's diversity equity leaders to participating in her high school's Black History Game Show Club. But when her junior year chemistry teacher at Iowa City West High School, Carolyn Walling, was recruiting students for the Science Fair Club, Taylor signed up, fascinated by the prospect of answering her own research question, and incorporating economic equity into science by trying to remove financial barriers to medical treatment.
CNN report. Not who we are as a country. Elise Stefanik once harshly blasted Trump's rhetoric and policies. New York Rep. Elise Stefanik, one of former President Donald Trump's loudest defenders in Congress, once harshly attacked Trump over both his rhetoric and policies, claiming that she'd be an independent voice. Stefanik, a rising Republican star who is working to replace Rep. Liz Cheney as the House GOP conference chair, has spent much of the last 2 years as a fierce defender of the former president, particularly during his first impeachment inquiry.
BBC report. Hong Kong's Ray Cordero, world's most durable DJ, retires at 96. Ray Cordero thanked his listeners as he ended his program All the Way with Ray on Saturday night. Well, that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Goodbye. Thank you for coming. The DJ, known as Uncle Ray, said in both English and Cantonese. His program has been running on Hong Kong's RTHK public broadcaster since 1970. Cordero is known for his baritone voice, flat cap and easy listening playlist.
BBC report. DR Congo Eid violence, court hands down death sentences. 1 police officer was killed and dozens of others were injured in clashes between rival Muslim groups. They had gathered to mark the end of the fasting month of Ramadan, but fell out over who should lead the event. The death penalty is no longer applied in Dr. Congo and those found guilty will serve life sentences instead. The police had used tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse thousands of people who gathered outside the Martyrs Stadium in Kinshasa on Thursday for the Islamic holiday of Eid al-Fitr.
Deutsche Welle report. Washington, D.C. Gas shortage reaches critical level. The majority of gas stations in the United States capital Washington, D.C. have now run out of fuel, days after a major cyber attack forced the nation's largest gasoline pipeline offline. According to tracking service GasBuddy.com, around 88% of gas stations were out of fuel in Washington, D.C. on Friday. This was despite Georgia-based Colonial Pipeline saying on Thursday that it was making substantial progress in restoring operations.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.